You just tell me where to share the things, my slides
Yeah,
here.
yeah. There is a tray, camera, mic, and then there is a tray. I will
Yeah,
tell you. I will tell you why. After introducing you.
open share tray. Yes, yes, open share tray I can find. Yes, yeah, yeah.
So welcome to the last session of the 5-day FDP program on transport infrastructure asset management. Session number 15. This session is a very compulsory session. It is dedicated to have a event in line with the Fit India movement. That's why a session on Fit India movement, and this will be handled by Dr. Hem Prasad Nath, SAS officer, NITK Surathkal. So this entire FDP program, 5-day FDP program, sponsored by the AICT Atal scheme, organized by the Department of Civil Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, Surathkal. So throughout this 5 days, first day, we had an inaugural event, virtual inaugural event organized by the AICT. That was the first session. Second session onwards, all the technical sessions were started. The second session, which was dedicated to the introduction of participants to the asset management concepts as per the ISO standard. And third session was on introduction to the road asset management. And the day two started with the road design and construction aspect in the first session of that day. Subsequent sessions were on monitoring of the conditions of the assets and then evaluation of condition of assets. And day three was on various treatment choices for maintaining the road assets. And subsequently, we had a case study on road asset management, especially from the Odisha state. And then we had a session on introduction to the SDM4. And the day 4 started with case studies on urban and then rural road maintenance management. And also we had a case study of Andhra Pradesh road asset management. And we also had a session on advanced payment condition monitoring system and AI-based automatic traffic counts and classifications. So today we are in the 5th day. The first session of the 5th day started with application of BIM and its application in the infrastructure asset management. Subsequent section we had a road asset management experiences from Qatar. And now the last session of this FDP program, that is a session dedicated to Fit India movement. The resource person of this session is Dr. Hem Prasad Nath. Dr. Hem Prasad Nath is presently working as an administrative officer of student activity and sports, Group A, at National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, Surathkal, Mangalore. It's an institute of national importance under MHR, Ministry of Education now, Government of India since March 2014. So worked as head of the Department of Physical Education and Sports at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's Bhagavan Das Purohit Vidya Mandi, Sri Krishnanagar, Nagpur from 2009 to 2014. He worked as a head of the Department of Physical Education and Sports at Abhyasa International Residential Public School, Tupran, Andhra Pradesh, Eco Education Residential School of ICSC, ISC and IGCSC Patron from 2008 to 2009. He earned his PhD in sports psychology in 2013 from RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. Which qualified in the UGC NET in the year December 2011. Completed Master of Physical Education MPED in Sports Medicine from PGTD of Physical Education Santa Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. Obtained Bachelor of Physical Education from Degree College of Physical Education Amravati, SG Amravati University, Amravati. 10th and 12th Science, Government Boys Higher Secondary School, Nagaon, Assam.
మీ టీం మెంబర్సా
మా టీం మెంబర్స్ అందరూ అంటే మొత్తం ఫైవ్ టాపిక్స్ తీసుకున్నాం సార్.
Regarding his professional experience, he is an NSS program coordinator of NITK Surathkal since February 2017, coordinator of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat, MHRD, Government of India at NITK Surathkal. PhD external examiner of Gondwana University, Gondwana, Maharashtra since 2014. Is a mentor, research in physical education, sports science. MSc, MPED, MPhil and PhD. CBSE examiner for evaluation of AISSCE. CBSE external examiner of AISSCE. Life skill trainer and counselor. Freelancer. Educational and adolescence health. Co-curricular activities. He is a certified first aid trainer. Institute of Arthroscopy and Sports Medicine, Nagpur. University Yogasana Championship holder from 2003 to 2006 of Amaravati University. Sports Medicine, Exercise Psychology, Exercise Physiology, Computerized Statistical Data Analyzer, Advanced Athletic Coaching, NSS Volunteer, Scoutmaster, Adventure Sports. He was participated and presented research papers at national and international conferences, participated and officiated in various inter-school and inter-university, national and state level sports meet, youth festival, etc. Hosted and coordinated National Youth Festival, again, sorry for the repetition. He is very active member of Rotary International, Surathkal, Mangalore. With this brief introduction, I welcome Dr. Hemprasad Nath for this session. Dr. Hemprasad Nath, thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and today you are here and you will be helping us and you are educating us and training us on this Fit India movement. Over to Dr. Hemprasad Nath. Now I come out of the sharing. Okay, there is one share tray button.
Yes, sir.
There, if you have opened your PPT, Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, keep it in a small window. And then if you click this, yeah, now it is coming.
Right, the slide is visible, sir?
Yeah, the slideshow you can make.
Okay, fine. It's visible, sir, full screen?
It's visible. That slideshow option you need to activate.
Yeah, I have given that. Is it coming now, sir?
Yeah, it's coming. No, slideshow is not. I'm not able to see that.
Okay, my computer it started already.
Okay. We can see only the slide number 1. Is it you have selected the slideshow or?
Slideshow, as a slideshow. Shall I do it in slideshow or regular PPT only?
No, it would be better if you show it in slideshow. What I suggest is whether even will it be possible to go back and unshare and reshare it?
Okay, just a minute. Stop sharing.
Stop
So
sharing.
again,
Now you please share.
yeah.
Don't share the show. Show after you can do it. First you share the file, in a sense, open layout, and then now you can go for a slideshow.
Is it a regular layout has come, sir?
Yeah, regular layout I can see.
Okay, so shall I go for slideshow?
Yes.
Is it fine now?
Yes. Now it's visible.
Okay, sir. So shall I start, sir?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, fine. So at the very outset, I would like to thank the organizer of this 5 days faculty development program on transport infrastructure and asset management from Department of Civil Engineering and NITK Surathkal. In particular to Dr. Suresh sir, the main convener and coordinator of these things. Honorable Director, the patron of this 5-day workshop. All the participants, all the resource persons participating from different places. A very good afternoon to all of you. It's a matter of very high privilege and honor to be here today with you all, sharing my little experience of this Fit India movement, which is an brainchild of, directly we can say it is a PM Modi, because in a lighter sense, since couple of the moment the BJP government came into the power and PM Modi became, Mr. Modi became the PM. So in the news, every time we can see that whatever, anything and everything happens. So everything is like Modi has done that. So this is also not something different from that. This also was a brainchild of his Vision India's one of the part, and he has initiated it to have this all Indians to be fit and healthy throughout. So International Day of Yoga, which he introduced it very first, that was the first movement, and then he started one by one. And is the recent movement is this the Fit India movement, which has started last year, 2019. I'll just come with all the details with that. So this is actually a very important aspect that government has taken up. So we'll have this session which as a Fit India movement, in that all the components which comes in this is the basic is the health, and along with the other things comes wellness, fitness, and other things which comes. So we'll go by one. First we'll discuss about the health and its importance, and then we'll come up with the remaining part. So when it comes to the matter of health, it's the healthy people considered a healthy nation, and the entire nation's strength is depends on the status of the health of the people living in. So in many of the cases, we found that we always compromise our health for something or the other. So this is a very pathetic scene that we are seeing here, mainly in India. We people are like, every time we will be like, okay, fine, exercise from tomorrow onwards. If there is a class in the case of your kids homework, and between his homework and what do you say that exercise timetable, then always it is the homework who will be getting the first preference. No, better, you have to do your homework first, you have to do your academics first, and okay, exercise and regular play or games we can have it sometimes later. So it's always like that. So that is how what we are doing is we are actually deteriorating our main health. So that actually should not happen in this, but still we people are doing it. So try to overcome these things and to educate people about the health education. It is not only the health, actually now it's become a health education. So the government has started this process now, and it's getting a enormous response from all the people. Everybody has realized now, and that too mainly during this time of pandemic COVID-19. Everybody has realized that it is none other than the health which actually matters for us in a blissful life to live. So people are now realizing, and they are coming up with a good response, and they are taking up different health activities. And but we need to thank the government, and especially in person to our honorable PM, Mr. Narendra Modi, for this type of initiative that he has taken and he has given it. So this Fit India movement is a mission or dream to make to Indians realize about the only statue that to be worshipped on a daily basis, which is more none other than our own body. Because here we always believe that God should be worshipped. Whenever the matter of worship is coming, we always find some the other idol in front of us. That is one of the other deities. So whoever we used to follow. But the first and foremost that we need to actually worship is our own body. Once is our own body, the physic is in a good shape and good condition, everything else goes well in there. And this main objective of this movement is to encourage fitness and helps us all to get freedom from obesity, laziness, stress, anxiety, and diseases, etc. Few key facts about this Fit India movement. When it launched, it's launched 29th August 2019 last year. Actually 29th August, many of you must be knowing it. This is the birthday of the legend of hockey, the hockey wizard Major Dhyan Chand. So to commemorate his birthday, this day is celebrated as the National Sports Day. And last year on that very day, PM Modi has launched this movement of Fit India movement. It was kicked off in the Indira Gandhi Stadium, New Delhi, with the objective to encourage people to start and increase physical activity and sports in their everyday lives. He addressed a gathering on this occasion, and he asked the people to have these basic things actually which we do regularly, but nowadays due to our ultra modern lifestyle habits, or maybe work pressure, lack of time management and all the things, we stop doing all these things and we have taken up some other options. So now the time has come that people need to realize that we actually need to take up these things instead of the one that as of now we are we are adopting in a sedentary way. When it comes health, from WHO, they have defined the health is a state. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. They have defined these things, but later it was found that this is not only this mental, physical, or social aspects only. There are certain other things also which actually uh, contributed to our healthy health. So in that they have revised and amplified this, and then it was added like attainment of a level of health that will enable every individual to lead a socially and economically productive life. So now, to get into detail about this, what health and everything is, we need to know the dimensions of the health. So main concept of health actually can be understood in, it can be contributed to like biomedical concept, ecological concept, then psychological concept or holistic concept, like that these things are. But when we discussed about the dimensions of different aspects of the health, basically these three things comes, the physical, mental, and social. These three are the basic dimensions of health, and later studies and research have found that health is even contributed by many other dimensions also, which can be listed as educational, emotional, spiritual, vocational, environmental, nutritional, curative, and preventive. These all dimensions also has an equal importance and contribution to be a sound health in one individual. So we'll discuss it in one by one. So comes to the physical dimension. Physical dimension is nothing but the physical health, which like which refers to the perfect functioning of the body and body organs, both internal and external, at its maximum capacity. So that is the aspects of the physical health, and this can be attained by regular daily exercises, a proper timetable, proper diet schedule, proper sleep, and avoiding of all these smoking habits and drinking alcohol and heavy drugs and other things that normally what we call as the body abuse, those things. So by avoiding those things, we can cultivate our physical dimension of the body. And what is the science of physical health? Is a good physique, good texture and complexion. These all things actually nothing new to anyone. These are the very common things that we know well. A good physique, good texture and a complexion, clean and groomed skin, a groomed posture, bright eyes, less of obesity and a slim figure, a sweet breed and a good appetite. And at night you can get a good sleep, and there is no bowel disorders, and well coordinated movements of the body parts and joints, and all movements are peaceful and blissful movements you can experience in your 24/7 schedule. So these are the signs of physical health. Then the second aspect comes the mental dimension. It is actually a broad matter, so we'll discuss detail in later. So we have a different discussion for this one. So in short, the mental dimension, what exactly it's tell us about the level of our the balance between our physical and the mental health. This is actually a coordinated process. So it's a vice versa. Like physical ailment can cause mental imbalance, and it's in reverse also it happens. So mental health is a state of balance between the individual and surrounding world, state of harmony between oneself and others, a coexistence between the realities of the self and that of other people and that of the environment. So here, when the mental aspects come, it is not only the physical responses, the physical body responses, the physiological responses, what we call. This is on not only those aspects, even the society, the environment where we are in, which surrounding us, everything has an equal contribution to a sound mental health. So mental dimensions discuss about those things. The common causes of mental ill health are anxiety, tension, fear, insecurity, a sense of inequality and prejudices. These all things comes under the part of common causes for the mental health. What characteristics a mentally healthy person depicts is free from internal conflicts. He feels comfortable and secure about himself, accepts his shortcomings, has self-respect, feels right towards other, and is able to feel a part in the group, takes responsibilities, never get away with whatever works you give him, is able to meet the demands of life, always ready for any type of challenges comes in a 24 schedule, whether it is a personal forefront or it is a professional forefront or it is social. So he is always ready to meet all those things, able to identify and face problems as they rise. So takes his own decision making. He is always used to be very swift and prompt in that. Has a perfect and achievable goals for his own set, and he has control over own emotions, fear and anger, which is a very important aspects in our life, in a day-to-day life. We need to have a proper balance, which starts at our family itself, the conflicts of these emotions. This starts at our family and it goes just to our surrounding, whoever, to a professional and social, whatever comes in us. So these are the characteristics that a mentally healthy person shows. Then comes this the reversible process of this mental health and the physical, how it connects. So a mentally ill and mental health, which mental illness, which actually creates depression and other things in our life, it's caused by the poor nutrition intake, then decrease the immune system, which leads to infection and other diseases in our body, and the physical illness and everything. This also contributed by the poor hygiene. And if we go in return from these things, if it starts as physical illness, then the graph will go in reverse direction. So this mental health, it is totally balanced by the physical aspect of our health, the main contributor. Along with the other contributors are also there very much, but these two are the part which has to go parallelly to achieve at least a 80% positive results. It needs to be go parallel always, the physical and the mental aspects of our health. Then comes to the social dimension. So this dimension actually denotes the quantity and quality of an individual interpersonal ties and the extent of involvement with the community. So these social dimensions tells us about how the feel good factor whenever we do something for somebody, that if we give somebody, so then without expecting anything in return, that feeling, how actually we used to feel later after finishing that job. So that satisfaction actually comes under this part of social dimension. So that happiness and that bliss when we feel, so that actually shows us the social aspect of our life. That's why it's called as one social health status is measured not in terms of the personal feelings of the individual himself or his own well-being, but in terms of one's effect on the well-being of the others. कि मेरे वजह से और दूसरा कोई कितना खुश है, so that is actually the real happiness. जैसे कहावत है हिंदी में, खाना खाने में नहीं एक्चुअली खिलाने में मजा आता है. So that's exact the same thing it happens. If we eat tasty foods by ourselves, yes, of course we feel delighted. Yeah, I have tasted a very tasty food and today the delicacy was very good. But at the same time, if we share the same thing with someone of our close circle, maybe family, friend, or anybody is nearby, so then that happiness gets double. So that is exactly the aspects that denotes the social aspect of the individuality. So a socially healthy person possesses the following qualities: clear communication. He is a very good communicator. He will not be having any uncertainty on whatever he is saying. And then the intimacy, because always he will be like no enmity with anybody. Always he will be feeling of that friendliness, that group behavior will be always there. Equal respect, which is a very important aspect in our life. We always used to try to stand out ourselves that yes, I am, that ego, that has to go. But in that way, socially balanced person, he never goes with that I, which always converts to we. The integrity, unselfishness, the forgiveness, the above all, the forgiveness. So as it is says that the one who forgives is the main master. He can only feel the ultimate happiness. So there is nothing in taking revenge, but if we can forgive somebody, it gives actually equal happiness to both the parties. And then the sense of fairness and cooperation, etc., is all things comes in different aspects of our life. So these are the qualities that is possessed by one socially healthy person. Then comes the emotional dimension. These are the feelings actually. These are the feelings which have great role in our life and lead to the modification of attitude conducive to personal adjustment and well-being. It means the emotional fitness and the emotional control. We have throughout the day different situations and conditions and different circumstances comes. We come across different people of different temper and different attitudes. So in those particular situations, how do we act, or we react, or we become proactive in those things? So these all things comes in these emotional aspects of the health. So here, a emotionally healthy person, what actually his things is to show is that a positive thinking and is capable of coping and adjusting himself, participate in all the activities which are related to personal growth and his self-esteem, have the ability to express feelings freely and manage feelings effectively, and they are also aware of and accept a wide range of feelings in themselves and others. So this gives a person a real happiness, because if a person is emotionally sound and if he can control all the emotions that's arise from within and it's maybe evoked by the surrounding. So if he can have a situation wherein he can balance the things, so that level of bliss is the ultimate thing that one person can really experience. Then comes the spiritual dimension. This is actually a higher level of higher aspect, which actually nowadays many people are trying to achieve it. The spirituality. This is little in a different aspect where mainly the yoga and pranayamic activities contributed to its maximum level. So this actually refers to the aspect where a person actually finally try to find out who am I. That maybe in our childhood everybody had this poet, right? Who am I? I am in the pistol, not in the gun, double in the moon, but not in the sun, but double in the moon. So who am I? But the result was not known. That result was a big O. So that's zero. So where everything starts at zero and everything ends at zero. The person who can actually find out the main purpose of his life, actually what for he is, because in this today's materialistic world we all becomes like a machines. We depends on the machines, we act as a machines, and we are surrounded by different type of machines. So we actually has forgotten that what we people are meant for and what is exact objective our life, what we need to achieve. Do we need to achieve all this materialistic pleasure, all this type of big house, big car, and then lots of money, bank balance, then different tours all around, and then all things that in yogic language it's called that the maya and the moksha, like that. So in under that maya we just goes around with different type of these physical pleasures. So the person who can actually find out the difference between these two, actually what is needed and what we are actually running behind, so that person only going to be achieve this spiritual aspect. So we actually need to find out the ultimate objective of our life, what actually we required in. So in Hindi it is said, दो वक्त की रोटी इस किसी को मिल जाए तो then he should be the happiest person. Exactly it is. Even if we earn 100 rupees per day, 1 rupee per day, 10 rupee per day, or crores per day, ultimately our meal size is not going to change. So whatever square meal we have defined for us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's going to be same. Only thing, the status may be different, but the basic materials for cooking those things, everything throughout, everything will be same. Maybe the place where we are taking it will be different. Maybe on the cutleries that we are using, that will be different. This all things we very much know it, but still, what happens is that we are striving to get that the step next, where it will be like we feel that maybe that will be more tasty or something like that. But no, if we can have a food in a particular healthy state, wherein after having that food we get a nice sleep or we do not get any metabolic disorders, then we are fine enough. And above all, ultimately, if we can digest that food easily without having any other disorders, then we should be the happiest person in there. So spiritual dimension actually tells us about that state of one individual. Then comes the vocational dimensions, which is total mess nowadays. People used to make their personal health because of this, and because this dimension essentially is subdomain of physical, mental, and social totally. Why? Because the capacities and limitation of an individual in relation to his occupation to achieve the targets, each plays an important role in providing these three aspects. The targets. This is one typical word now. The targets, target. Everybody is running behind the targets. So everybody has a target, but nobody reaches. Nobody has a goal. Everybody has target. So running behind this target, people are forgetting everything. They have forget who was their friend. So he will just kick him out from his way and he will go ahead. So here the survival of the fittest theory also applies, but not in a positive way, in the another way. So like this, the vocational dimensions plays a very important role in our life. So in this aspect, a person needs to balance these aspects, how actually he is going to feel content, what exactly his needs are, and accordingly how he can supply that demand. So that will make sure that his vocational dimension is in a perfect level or not. So these are the points which can be attributed to the vocational satisfaction: a social efficiency, social status, social prestige, emotional stability, mental relaxation. These all things, these points can be correlated to the physical, mental, and the social balance of a particular person's health status. And these are the dimensions of health that can be assessed by assessing the satisfaction level at job or the workplace that he is working, facilities attached to the job and workplace, behavior of the management and the administration and the colleagues at job. So these are the three vital things which actually plays a direct role on the vocational aspect of the health of one individual. So if these three things, basic three, there are many, but these basic three things, if a person can make a balance, then he can achieve this aspect. Next comes the other two parts, that educational dimension. It is this concisely controlled process whereby changes in behavior are produced in the person and through the person in the group and society. So it causes certain changes in one's behavior and attitude, enabling him to understand his responsibility to the society and the nation. And in this, health education creates awareness regarding the health rules, promotes health, builds up healthy environment, and shows the path to follow towards the healthful living. This platform where we are today, that Fit India movements, this is actually one of the results of this educational dimension, because as we discussed the earlier part of the education, which we know, which is controlled only between the books and different teaching learning modules only. But now these things has been come up. This has been come up to a different level that is called as a play way in education. So this is a concept in education. So in that it comes the health education. So health education is another aspect which now giving us this type of opportunities. Actually, how we can boost our regular education process through our health education modules. Then comes the nutritional dimension, as everybody knows it now, and most of the people are now very much conscious about their health and mainly the diets. Whenever it is a part of obesity or certain other things comes, so directly first target will be no. Tomorrow onwards, this curve will be I'll be getting on reduced to the carbs and fatty items, this, that, and blah blah. One full list will be there in that. So in that aspect, what happened is finally there are many diets. Some keto diets are there nowadays. Many extraordinary words are there, and many dietitians have started it as a business. And it has come up as a module. There's his Mishra's module and Gupta's module. Like that, there are so many many are there in market. So people are taking it. So in that, running behind without a proper knowledge, actually, what are the nutritional requirement our body has, we are simply running behind one set principle done by somebody else. So in that, finally, what happens? We lose and we missed out some vital nutrients, which is more essential for our body. So a proper knowledge of the nutritional aspect which is required to our body is very much required for our regular growth and development and maintenance of the different functioning in our body. Next comes the environmental dimension, which is a very crucial part again nowadays. Now, maybe because of this pandemic, this time there are lots of deterioration, lots of degradation in this pollution, and this so many things has been lowered down. So people have started getting refreshed, and they are getting a different environment in the same where actually they were. The people could not even imagine that was it the same environment that I was there 3 months or 6 months back. So now people are realizing how a healthy and clean environment is supporting and contributing to their good health. So this dimension is equally important, which starts environmental things, which starts at our home, and from there to our nearby neighborhood, then to the society, and then to the city, and then it goes on to the entire nation. So that Swachh Bharat mission is the another one, which is government is taking care, and they are taking it up very seriously, and all people are supporting it at its maximum level, because everybody has realized now that environmental aspect is the one where we can live, because we have to live in the environment, and in this we are going to get out maximum thing from the good environment. So people are contributing a lot into this, and we should have a thorough knowledge about these things to achieve a proper environmental aspect. And finally comes the curative and the preventive dimension. So here we know about the curative part. We always ready to end up with a doctor. We have our family physician. We have, there are lots of extraordinary modern words. We have our family physicians. Today I call my dietitian. Today I call my gym instructor. I have put so many people earlier. In that, we have missed out our regular things where it can be prevented. The dietitian will give us many other things. The physician will give us many other medicines for once the things will happen. But my question is, why the things we allow to happen? We should not things allow to happen that it's required some medication. So we need to prevent it even before. So these preventive measures, preventive dimensions, which is required today's date, is that it's a form of different health promotions, disease prevention, disability limitations, and rehabilitation process. So here we go ahead with different, like this type of talks and this type of seminars, many awareness program we need to conduct about the amongst the people, so that they will be educated about these things, and that curative aspects we can reduce it, whereas the preventive aspect we can uh, uh, expose more to the people, and we can make it very much aware about to the people. So these are the dimensions of the health that we have now discussed with. Here we'll go next to the second level, the fitness. Actually, this Fit India movement, the word itself says that Fit India movement, but when it comes to fitness, it is little more specific, because health and fitness and wellness, these three words always, we use it very often. We have a good health, we have a very good fitness, and like that we are in a state of very good wellness and all the things. But we never go deeper into that, what exactly health is, what exactly fitness is, and wellness is. So health is a very broader term, wherein fitness is one component in that. Wellness is a state which can be achieved by these two things if these other things goes parallelly. So we have discussed now about the health. Now we'll come to the fitness. So fitness, if we define it in a scientific way, and it can be defined as the ability to perform daily tasks vigorously and alertly, which energy left over for enjoying leisure time activities and meeting emergency demands. Is the ability to endure, to bear up, to withstand stress, to carry on in circumstances where an unfit person could not continue, and is a major basis for good health and well-being. So, when we say about this, fitness is particular goal-oriented. When we are fit, if we cannot say that a physically fit person is healthy, but if a person is healthy, we can say yes, he is fit. So fitness is one component in the process of good and sound health. So physical fitness is to the human body is same as what the fine tuning is to an engine, but it doesn't mean that the engine is good in a vehicle. Doesn't mean that the entire vehicle is good. There are certain other factors also which actually altogether results in the comfortable level of that vehicle. So exactly the same theory applies here in that. So if a person is physically fit, yes, he is very much physically fit. So there is no doubt that he is not going to be unhealthy condition. But if we consider it as a health altogether, then there are certain other areas also which has to be supplied to its ultimate level. So which already we have discussed in the dimensions part. So here this fitness goes around goes with various components. What's exactly contributed to the different fitness level. So these components of fitness can be discussed in two segments. One is the health related components of the fitness, and another one is skill related components of the fitness. So the health related ones, like these are the basic which we require to be fit enough. One person's required these components, which is muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, body composition, cardiovascular fitness, power. These all words we know very well. So we can go in detail also one by one. This muscular strength, which is say the maximum amount of energy that we can produce in our body in different muscle segments, big muscle activities. When it comes to the endurance level, to effectively working with the same strength for a particular duration of time without any fatigue, then it will show us the endurance level. And the flexibility shows us the different movement across our different joints in the body and different movement across the muscles. So that flexibility shows in that. The body composition, which says about this, our BMI, the main common word people, body mass index people were to say. Then waist hip ratio is there. There are different type of things, body compositions comes in that. What should be the weight as per our height, and like that. So then the cardiovascular fitness, which is a specific thing related to the heart, how much our heart is functioning effectively, that is defined in cardiovascular fitness section. And the power, which is comes in the forceful execution of any activity with great strength, will show us about the power of these things. And then when it comes to the skill related components of the fitness, then things are a bit higher than that and slightly different. It's the agility. Agility is the the process where a person can move in different multiple directions with the same strength and the same endurance, so without any problems. So he's not getting falling down, and while in the play you can see like footballer how the zigzag way he used to dribble the ball and take it to get it from his opponent and then finally take it to the goal. So those are the things called as the agility, the rapid movement changes when the body is in our motion. Then comes a balance and coordination. So this is very much required in our body. So balance and coordination shows as an aspect wherein our body can be still in particular position where the body is maybe is in rest also, or body maybe is in motion also. In that time, without disturbing the present state, if we can balance the activities, we can carry on the activity in a balanced order. That comes in this balance and coordination option. Then the reaction time, which is a very much good aspect in our life. The reaction time to anything. Reaction time, it is a psychological reaction time is also there, and the physical reaction time is also there in that. Then speed, accuracy. So these are the components comes under skill related components. So these are, as I told it earlier, it's the fitness. It is very specific component basis which contributes to an extent to the level of health, but it is not a fully condition of full sound health. Here you can see the difference, what actually the health and fitness is. This is not my creation. This has been example has been taken from the internet. This is for an example it is being taken. So here we can see a common things and the differences between the fitness and health. So what actually health gives us? It gives us better aging process. It gives us longevity, quality of life, lower stress levels, lower blood pressure, free of disease, free of pain. These are pointed out a very few. Even there are many other things also we get in health. Same way in fitness we can see the enhanced performance. It's in competitions. It makes you improve appearance, then tone up your body, improve flexibility, and all other components that just now we have discussed with. So this is how these two aspects are different enough. But yeah, in common, these are losing weight means actually it cannot be said as a lose weight, but balancing weight, because simply losing weight also it doesn't sound good, because it cannot be simply going down and down. So there should be a balance as per your height, as per your other bone structure and these things, as per your requirement of your body. Then the strength improvements and improving the cardio level. So these are the common things that health and fitness both requires. But we get these different things in fitness and health. Now we'll come in detail about the mental ill health, actually, which is a big concern now in today's society. Everybody has something or the other way they are mentally stressed. Stress is one common word now amongst everybody. Anxiety is a common symptoms, seen everybody. हिंदी में कहावत है कि हर कोई बहुत जल्दी में रहते हैं लेकिन टाइम पे कोई नहीं पहुंचते. So we are just running behind. We are so fast. We are so hurriedly going behind, running, but never we reach the end point. Where exactly the end is, that is not known. So almost 1 out of 5 adults has a mental illness today. Any given point of time of their life, maybe during their childhood, maybe during their adolescence period, or mostly in their struggling in their youth stage when they are just trying to overcome their studies and then getting into some of the occupation and then start earning, then life starts and then goes on, and then in between the graph seems to be little balanced, and then again it started fluctuating after 45, like that, when the family responsibilities and other things comes to the peak, and this child education, then their future and other things, then their marriage, and etc., and finally again little plateau will be there in the graph, and then again after 60 it will be vibrating that what is next in that. So what is the post-retirement life, whether it will be healthy or unhealthy, and what I have to do. And then again people will be like aimless and objectiveless if somebody has not fixed their goals in a proper healthy way. So this is the same thing. What is the mental health? Mental ill health actually says about different type of things. So here the major causes of a mentally ill person is inherited traits, environmental exposure before birth, and the brain chemistry, of course. So inherited traits actually links us the people who are whatever their blood relatives and what was happening before in the family history, in that if at all something was there in his previous forefathers or his father in family, something he has witnessed before. So those things implies a lot in one's life to create certain mental imbalance in life. Then second component goes to the environmental exposure, which is a very much triggering day now. It is the inflammatory conditions, then toxins, different drug situation, and different like this riots and all the things. So it entirely depends on the surrounding where exactly we are in, our work structure, our workplace, and then our regular place where we live in, the society where we every day up and down, and all these things contributes more to this aspect. And last part is the brain chemistry. Brain chemistry is all the neurotransmitters, and naturally occur these things naturally occurring brain chemicals that carry the signals to other parts of the body. And when these networks get uh, affected by different type of extra elements comes in the body, that is none other than the drugs and the toxins, which creates an imbalance about the nerve impulses in our body, and that leads to different problems and traumatic situation in the mental health of one persons. So here if we discuss the risk factors, these are a few risk factors which can be considered for a mentally ill person. A history of mental illness in blood relatives such as a parent or sibling, as I discussed, and a stressful life situations such as financial problems or failure, divorce, or etc. The regular situations. Any chronic diseases, diabetes, or there are many chronic diseases are there in life, so which people are now getting fed up of, and then people started getting losing hope from their life and all. Then brain damage, that is a serious injury and traumatic, and where people can't even die. So he will be just like a living dead, and he will be just on the bed, and it will be a burden for everybody. And in that condition, that mental trauma that a person goes through. Then any traumatic experiences. So in front of you, yeah, we have seen some very brutal assaults to any of the other person, or if anything happens to us, some type of dangerous theft, or very rigorous, somebody has beaten us, or maybe some accident, anything like that. So this also creates a very big risk to our mental health. Then of course the alcohol and recreational drugs. We normally takes it for, initially it is for like okay fine, let the euphoria comes in us and then we'll see what happens and all that things. But gradually what happens, one person getting addicted to these things, then the entire scenario gets changes. So that creates a lot of discomfort in one, and then he getting addicted and started abusing himself because of those things, and then one after another that is all problem starts. Then a childhood history of abuse or neglect. This is one of the vital point in nowadays. Many times what happens is we ignore the different type of bullying that happen to our kids at school, because all the times we do not used to be there with our kids. So maybe in our local hood when they were playing with their friends and all, they must have been bullied by somebody, or maybe in the school they were bullied by their friends, or maybe because of their they could not come up to the expectation of the teachers of their that subject teachers and everybody. So different type of bullying used to happen, and the child started feeling neglected in many places. And nowadays maximum things happens even at our home also. The parents, because of this modern lifestyle, both the parents working, so they do not have sufficient time for their kids. So the kid, he or she cannot express exactly what he wanted to be. That family time has gone. So in this all things contributed together a greater risk to the mental health of that particular kid. It is a very triggering situation nowadays. It's happening, everybody knows it. Then the friend circle, and the friend circle also matters. We need to have friends, but again, while having the friends, we have to have that particular checkpoints, actually what type of friends I'm going to have. So that is actually a big question mark. So simply we can have that earlier concept that all our neighbors, everybody is our friend, and we go and okay, play with them. Everybody has different things, and okay, but now the scenario is totally changed. Now people started, making friends based on their own interest, on certain things will be there. So then only they will be your friend, and then once the purpose is served, then you will be no, totally unrecognized. So these are the things also creates a very big risk to our mental health and some previous mental illness. So that also can come back, and it's also come back to your present life. So these are the risk factors to have for our mental ill things. So this should not be, and nobody should at all ignore these things. So whenever certain things we realize that something of this sort is happening, at the very earliest we need to take the help of the concern. And because of this, what are complications may come in that the chart that everybody is suffering unhappiness and decreased enjoyment of life that used to go on, and everybody started feeling, why I'm here, everything is gone from my life and nothing has left to it, so there's no use that I should be alive more. So then these all suicidal tendencies and other things started coming. Then of course the family conflict, that is the first place where everything gets reflected in our regular life. If anything goes wrong in our office, in most of the cases it will just be reflecting on your wife or the children. Many people started used to do that, which is actually very bad practice in that. So everybody should avoid these things. Never we should take our professional things to the family. So these two things, that fine line between these two, if someone can maintain, only can achieve a proper happiness. Otherwise it creates a hell out of everything. And that relationship difficulties, nowadays it is another hot issue that everybody is having problem. So in our say this one counseling forum nowadays, maximum cases we are getting these relationship issues. Earlier it was there for the adolescents, that love failure and all that things, but now things are getting a bit more complicated. It's coming to a level next. It's coming between, that marriage and everything, it's become a joke for everybody now. So that just people do not have any faith at all on this. And maybe because of the family pressure or some relation, rituals to be done, for that sake people started doing it, but things actually doesn't work out the way it has to be, and then it's end up with lots of difficulties, and then the whole scenario get into a person's life along with the other family members of those two things in that multiple factor. All these people in the chain will be getting affected. Then social isolation, of course, once this thing will happen, we of course we cannot have a proper good discussion with any of the people nearby with us. So we started isolating ourselves. Why should I say all these things to my neighbor? No, I should not. So let it be with me. So by depositing these all things, finally we end up in a different situation. Then problems with tobacco, alcohol, and other drugs. I already discussed with it is a common things. Then missed work or school problems, other school legal and financial problems, poverty and homelessness. These are the other complications comes. We lose everything because of different lifestyle problems. Even the millionaires also, we have seen that they have come on the roads now. So these are the other aspect in that. Then self-harm and harm to others, including suicide and homicide, both comes in this. So when a person in very much mentally unstable situation, he cannot justify actually what is good for him as well as what is good for the others. So his own emotions, control, and everything is to be gone, and then he end up doing all these uh, untoward activities. And it's of course weakens our immune system, so body started responding the way it was supposed to be in a healthy state. So that things will go, and these are the main triggering effect. The heart attack, it's become a common now. It's like 35 is the age that has been in some studies, some research has been shown. So it is no, please don't take anyone, those who are in your 35, don't take it. I myself in that stage, but this is being, some research has been shown in that 35 is the highest age now that people are getting it. I don't know how this figure 35 has come up from, but you might be going through in some studies, you can see that. So people used to, now research used to say that 35 to 45 is the age where people has the maximum chance to getting these hypokinetic diseases, and wherein these all things happens. And once people cross that things, then they are okay, they can say that they are out of the cancer zone. But exactly whether what is the authenticity of the things, it is not known. But problems are there, and there are evidences that is happening in this stage. Many people are now getting in their early 40s and early 30s also. They are getting this heart disease and attacks and all these things. So these are the very serious complications that come out from our mental ill health. Now, how to prevent this? So if we see the prevention measure, actually mental illness, we cannot say that it can be cured, because there are certain things that certain clinical things are there, and there are certain medications are there. People have come up fully recovered, but maximum cases evidences are there that it's again revert back, it comes back. So it's always triggered by again different situations. So if somebody can isolate one person from all these aspects which actually triggered him earlier for this is mental traumatic situation, so then at the 80% to 90% level, these all things can be avoided to revert back. But otherwise, if a person comes back to again very normal to his regular, then it's quite difficult actually to say that it will not be revived again. So as a very much we can prevent it. So I was talking about the curative part. So if we, as we do not have much confidence on the curative aspect, so we can take the shelter of the preventive part. So these are the few points which can actually prevent, which can prevent this mental ill stations. Like pay attention to the warning signs. As I told you, the very first, our problem in our society is that we do not discuss the things which, if what the people will say, that word it's become a what other people will say. This is our one of the biggest worry or biggest fear or whatever you say. There's a status quo or social problematic it is. So वो लोग क्या कहेंगे. So it is लोग क्या कहेंगे के चक्कर में what we happen to do is we end up with not sharing the things when actually it was supposed to be, and finally we ended up when these things will go and reach to the extreme stage where actually it is very difficult to prevent it. Ultimately we need to go for the clinical aspects. If at all we have encountered certain things that it has I can see some symptoms and signs in that, so I need to get a routine medical care. And then any type of small problem, so it should not be like that SARS serial, or that what comes in the ZTV serials, that no, let the climax comes. No, I'll not say him. I'll just find out that actually he himself or she himself has to express it. Let it be like that. So that type of climax, those type of things we should not wait. So before the climax reaches, when it's starting in the initial stage itself, we need to discuss with any family friend or anybody to whomever we are very much comfortable with, to whom we can share with all the problems of our life. So that is the first thing, because when we discuss, we can draw many good conclusions. But the moment we started accumulating, we are hiding the things. So to hide one things, we need to hide many other things again. So that actually heals the problem, it's never reduce the problems. So that is why whenever there is a mental situation, mental imbalance, you are finding that somewhere you are not able to co-op with your normal level, so it's always better to discuss the same things with our nearby relatives or anybody. It can be our siblings, it can be our teacher, it can be our mentor, it might maybe your wife, father, mother, anybody to whomever you are comfortable with. So the first and foremost thing has to be done is the confession to the people. And above all, if at all anybody is finding himself it is happening like this, then we need to start involving within the groups. Rather isolating ourselves from the group, we need to be a part of the group activities and different fun activities. No matter if you do not know anywhere in your locality, just go. If some kids are playing, okay, be a part of them. If some group of elderly people are sitting and they are simply laughing and chatting something, be a part of them. Just be a part. Once we approach somebody, normally at 90% cases, 95% cases, we never get any rejections. Yes, there are rejections, but normally if we go ahead with a good intention with good people, normally we get that welcome. So maybe the 10 people may not welcome you, but there will be one who can understand actually what the things. So somewhere or the other corner, you will get a response. But approach is a must. So that cannot be, your approach cannot be made by somebody else. So that it's ultimately it's me who can make that approach. So I need to do it myself. If at all we are finding it that it's going totally out of my schedule, get up from your regular course for some day and just plan a trip to a new place you never heard or you never been. Nothing. Simply take your car or take a bus or take any other transport. Just go on. Stay there for a second, because what will happen is that will distract you from your regular course, because once we'll end up in a new place, there will be some new challenges. Of course, there is no doubt in that. So from our regular normal activity onwards to our food and shelter and etc., whatever, so everything will come up with a new challenge. So in that distraction from your earlier part will go, then you will end up with somebody else problem probably sometimes. So that will create a different environment for us to find out exactly which is better. My earlier was better, or this is better, or this is worse, like that. So that will give us a different scenario, so that we can come out from our regular traumatic situation and then experience something new, and then slowly again we can get back to the work. That's what. Let's get help when it is needed, and then take good care of oneself, timely food and sleep, etc. So anybody in whenever we find something, because we know whenever we are feeling good, whenever we are not feeling good, and we're not extremely not feeling well, like that also situations we can very much make out in our own, because we know our life, we know our life style activities, what all things we are doing it, and what is our needs. Accordingly, how to what extent we are able to supply the demands that we are creating for us. So out of this all together, what is the outcome coming? The mental status, the happiness, whether I am getting happier or I am getting day by day more tensed by messing up in between this all materialistic world. So these all things we can very much make out. So in that case, we need to proactively work on this point. So this way we can actually prevent ourselves to getting into more danger level. This is the biggest problem now, whether to choose the modern living and health. So as I was discussing from the beginning onwards till now, so every time what is being seen is that because of something or the other modern living and lifestyles, we are compromising with our health styles. It is triggering issue of our ill health. We do due to anything, if it's work pressure or study pressure or the status quo or the financial problems or some target achievement, that goal and target, these all things, or some drugs and other things, we always compromise our health in our day-to-day timetables. But these all things are creating and triggering a very tremendous health hazards for us. Malnutrition, unhealthy diet, smoking, consuming alcohol, drug abuse, stress, and so on are the presentation of the unhealthy lifestyle, and that they are used to dominate form of lifestyle. And IT, the development of this internet world and the virtual world, this is the greatest epidemic of this era now. We should, so whether I could not even conclude till date whether this is a development or actually we are deteriorating to the last point, that we are going to be again in that zero again finally. So because of these things, we are not at all taking the advance, good part of this technology. We are just overusing it, or somewhere maximum time we are misusing it. So the ultimate aim of this development of technology is actually paralyzing our regular life and day-to-day life, physical work, mental, whatever you are saying. So everything. So in this, that a good things comes, that our lives have become like nowadays we do not stay in our homes. We used to say, I am staying in an apartment. My apartment is this. Earlier, some word was there was a flat. But now the new word has come, the apartment. But actually, what is this apartment? This apartment concept is actually creating apart. It is not uniting people. Even though apartments are a single house having different rooms in the form of flats and all, but still, it is not uniting the people. It is actually dividing the peoples. Earlier in our, whenever we were in villages and all, we used to know all the people from in our village from right top to bottom. Everybody is with, we used to visit everyone's house every day or someday, and we used to exchange the foods, we used to have the festival celebration, everything together. But now when we end up in these apartments, we all got apart, and this is exactly reflecting on our life. So what we should say, whether it is a development or it is a deterioration. So ultimate things, whatever level of development we achieve, we cannot say the basic has changed. So what a body needs, the same thing what it has been made for. So body is demanding exactly what it has been made for, and The lifestyle is, the basics are same. There is no alternative to the body basics. So that is why we need to find out our ultimate needs, which we discuss in our emotional aspects and that mental aspects there. So social aspect is the another thing which can actually unite us to get all these things together. So this war between the modern living and the health, it is a big war now, and one need to find out exactly which aspect he needs to check, whether it is the health or the modern living or a balanced one. So that is up to the forum. And in this entire things, health, fitness, and wellness, these entire things, one basic things that contribute to its maximum. Oh, sorry, this one thing I just missed out. The affecting which our healthy lifestyle, which is being affected by many other things. This all thing already we have discussed it. I just in a pictorial format I just wanted to put it. So diet, proper sleep, modern technologies, sex life, substance abuse, recreation, medicine abuse, daily exercise. These all are the lags. Study. These all are the factors which are affecting tremendously in our regular health and healthy lifestyle. So we need to concentrate more on these things and need to make a proper balance amongst this all to achieve one sound health. As a contributing factor to these things, one needs to think about these two words, life skills, which our life. One of my signature statement I always use skill, and we get busy with and we make some particular line for our day-to-day living. Without that we actually cannot achieve the ultimate thing in our life. So certain skills are required. So in this life skill development there are many things. There are many life skill trainers are there are many educationists are there who have developed a life skill concept and all the things, and above all our WHO is there who is taking care of the health status of all the people across the globe. So I'll just go ahead with their definition only. The WHO definition of the life skills, they also say that the abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enable individuals to deal effectively with the demands and challenges of everyday life. So this two words, demands and supply. Demands and supply actually creating the total mess out of our life. Everybody finally at the end getting stuck on these 2 points. What is the demands? What is the supply? And maximum time it happens that we do not know the demands. We used to just keep on increasing the demands. It never ends. And accordingly, our pocket used to tell us up to what extent we can supply it. And when those things get imbalanced, of course the problem starts, that life starts killing. So life skills converted to life kills. So we need to develop certain life skills through which actually we can achieve and we can do some wonders to our own life. So UNICEF, UNESCO and WHO, those are the three things, those who are now working across the globe for their child health, then adolescent health and adulthood health also. They have different modules they have developed and they have come up with different programs to develop the health of different level, the corporate level, that is different word, that is the regular worker level, and then mainly they are concentrating on the kids and the school level. They are coming up with different modules of health things. So they have defined about 10 core life skills which actually one person need to concentrate on it and need to develop at himself, whatever level he do, whatever occupation he is into, whatever job cycle or whatever he is, a normal person, sedentary person, one on to the one CEO level person, everybody need to have basic certain life skills need to develop: the problem solving, critical thinking, effective communication skills, decision making, creative thinking, interpersonal relation skills, self-awareness building skills, empathy, coping with the stress and emotions, and ability to express feelings and give feedback. So these 10, there are many actually. There are one book is there, I forget the name of the author, the 49 techniques to be 49 life skill techniques to be happy. Like that, there are different things are there, but this 10 has been pointed out as a basic, where a person if develops at least 20% of each of these things can live a sedentary healthy life. He can at least, we can assure that he is not going to end up in certain, that what we have just now discussed about the mental imbalance problems. So at least he can make himself away from those problems in his life. So these are the things, and above all, actually, there are few which I believe in myself that needs to be whenever you feel certain problems and all the things. But I go for this thing. Some my addition I can say in that cooking. I used to find out one of the best. One of the best. You just get inside the kitchen, cook something whatever way, because whenever we get into some trouble and all the things, ultimately we have been cooked up by somebody, or maybe myself, or maybe some other problems, or maybe somebody else. So we have been cooked up. Instead, if why should we allow somebody else to get us cooked? Why not it's we to cook something for us? So one of the best life skill that one need to have is the cooking. Then go for a gardening. That is another thing. Those who likes into that. Then the greatest another that's I personally do is the music. Whenever there is any tension, you are not getting sleep at night and all the things, I just used to put my headphones on. Yes, of course, this is not a good habit. I know it, but as you are not getting any solution, the problem that is being creating in your mind, it's going on in your mind. So just to distract that things, just put some music in your ear, or you can put some loud music in that. What will happen by getting into those lyrics and the musics, those beats, it gives you a different type of neurotransmission in your body. So that chemical reactions in your body will just make you at least distract from the problem level. And apart from that, then traveling more often to different places, simply getting stuck in one place just because of that I have job, I have my children's work, everything, and I cannot move on from here. I cannot visit my family every day nowadays. Everybody has this the common things. No, we should not. And we Indians are actually, studies have already proven it. We Indians are very lack and very poor in exploring the different places. We never know. Nowadays, many economically sound people, they started visiting, I have gone for a China tour, Hong Kong, then I went to Europe, and I have seen those things. But you ask them, have you seen Kashmir? Have you went to the Kanyakumari? Have you been to Gujarat, Kutch and all the things? Hardly 80% people will able to, hardly 20% people will able to say that yes, I have been through. No, just in your locality, in your own nationality, you go, just go, whatever your pocket permits. We have different type of transportation level now. It is even almost very much cheaper also. Just take some time out of that, get leave. Everybody have whatever occupation we are into. We have our own personal leaves. We have different type of leaves we can. So at least spend few days, just go, don't do anything, relax there, and interact with the people of that particular locality. Have some local cuisines there, whatever foods they used to have, whatever lifestyle is. Just go around, simply like a mad. You just go. You do not have any goal. Simply like a mad, you go around the city or that particular place where you have been and come back. I just guarantee that it will makes you a lots of difference in your life. But here, we Indians are actually very much lagging in this aspect. So we need to effectively do that. And that way, if we start taking our kids along with us right from their very early childhood, it will give them different type of confidence. It will even develop their immunity as well, because if we pamper them in one particular situations, most of the nuclear parents, what they used to say, no, I have only kid, and no, I cannot, he is only 6 months old, he is only 1 year old, how can I think of taking him to that place and all the things. You will everything, every place is prone to infection, and so many things they will be coming up. But how long we are going to protect him in that particular pampered environment? Have we ever thought of? Never. Simply because it is being taught to us by our mother or by somebody, or we have read somewhere. That is how we are just getting it developed. But once the person will be exposed to different type of environmental situations, different type of economical situations, different life situations, he will actually adapt many things, and that will give him a good adaptation to different situation in his life. So we need to take our kids right from the early childhood. You just start taking them out and let them communicate to different other peoples. Automatically they will develop a different type of adjustment level in their life, and it will definitely going to help them in the long run in their own life. So these are the simple basic principle which everybody knows and everybody very much effectively ignoring it, and that is how we are finally ending up in such type of problems. So these are all about, just I wanted to convey this entire things. Nothing I feel that I have said something extra. Everything is known to everybody. Just I wanted to have a refresh button. This I wanted to play it for you all. So hopefully these things will work. So finally, few lines from myself. Take home note. So take home note is very clear. If we need to have a sound health and we really need to be healthy, then the mantra is very simple. Exercise, Devo Bhava. Here I just wanted to tell you one story, how to be happy, how to be content, and how to, that is in yoga. If you go, if you have anybody have gone through the Astanga yoga concept, the eightfold concept of yoga, it is called as. So Patanjali has defined these things, which is a must widely accepted yoga concept and in our regular day. In that, he has defined the different yamas, niyamas, asan, pranayamas, then all those things are defined. So yam and niyam, yama and niyama it is called as in English translation. So yamas and niyamas are actually certain type of principles that we need to adopt in our life, we need to cultivate in our life, which will, these are some practices. So in niyama, there is one, the third one is called as the santosha. Santosh means the contentment. How much we are content, whatever we are getting in, how much happy we are because of that particular thing. So one story, it was a small story. It's about one saint, one rishi in his ashram. So he has many disciples with him. So one fine day, one person from the nearby village, he came with one cow. The cow was pregnant. So that person told his at the door of that ashram, one of the disciple, that I want to keep this cow here because I cannot afford to feed her at my home, and he just showed different inabilities to keep that cow with him. So he wanted to keep that cow in the ashram farm. So that disciple came to the Guruji. So he said that Munivar, this person has come from the nearby village and he wants to keep this cow here, and the cow is pregnant at present. So Muni says that yeah, fine, as he is pregnant, which he is expecting, so we are going to get fresh milk, so it will be very good for us. You keep it inside. So the disciple went and he took the cow and get inside, and they started taking care of the cow. Very soon the cow delivers, and then they started getting fresh milk. So then after a couple of months, maybe around 2 or 3, that person again came back one day, and he started meeting that same person, same disciple of the Guru, and told him that I want to take that cow back to my home now. So situations are now comfortable, I want to take. So that disciple, he got a little annoyed. So he came back. He came to his Guruji and he told Guruji, that person has come back again and he wants this cow to be taken back. That he says that now things are fine. Now he wants to take it back. So Guruji did not have a second thought. He did not even take any time at all, and he said, "Okay, that's fine, very good. So tomorrow onwards we have one work will be reduced. That cleaning those all cow dungs and everything will be reduced. So tomorrow onwards we have a little more free time today. So please you go and give him the cow and let him go." So that after that reply, that disciple was just wait for some time and he was thinking what exactly is happening. So then he did not ask anything and he went back. Simply he followed the order of that rishi and went and gave the cow to her owner and came back. Then in the evening conversation, he asked that question to his Guruji. The Guruji, you told that time when he came, you told that you keep it, will be getting fresh milk and all. That time cow was pregnant. We had to even take care of that cow little extra, and then we got it. And now again today, without any hesitation, you told that it has to be sent back only because we need not to do the cow dung clearance from tomorrow onwards. So that is actually not making any big difference for us as we are doing it for some other things. So then Guru said that, see, if you love something, then set it free. If it is yours, definitely it comes back. And if it is not, it was not yours at all. So never keep anything that it is mine and it being taken care by me only. No. Whatever we are doing in our day-to-day life, after getting up, whatever we are facing in our day-to-day life, it is just a part it's coming and it will never be with us. It will just go on to the next. So that is why don't stick to one particular things and don't get attached to things. Once you will be getting attached to the things, we'll start creating disharmony amongst ourselves. So this is exactly what I wanted to share you with today, is that my one take home note for your mental health is that stay away from all the attachments and forget everything and just exercise your duties every day, whatever you are meant to finish it, and above all just give yourself few time, that is a me time, that will come to the conclusion part anyway. So that will give us the ultimate things, and particularly when this topic is concerned of today's that health. So here one Sanskrit shloka I just wanted to quote here. Vyayamat labate swastham dirghayushyam balam sukham arugyam paramam bhagya swastham swartha sadhanam, which means is व्यायाम से स्वस्थ लंबी आयु बल और सुख की प्राप्ति होती है, निरोगी होना परम भाग्य है और स्वस्थ से अन्य कवि कार्य सिद्ध होते हैं. Which English translation goes like this: exercise results in very good health, long life, strength and happiness, and good health is the greatest blessings. Health is means of everything. So this is the only thing just I want to share with you all. Sparing at least half an hour daily for our physical exercises is the only mantra to be healthy forever. Anything, wherever you are, whatever you do, just try to do at least simple brisk walk for a distance, maybe half kilometer, 1 kilometer, in your own locality, maybe in your own place itself, in your own surrounding, and or if you have a short trek, you can go for a short jogging, cycling if you have the things. Some yogic and pranayamic activities, the ultimate, and which can be done at any place, wherever, even on your bed itself we can do it. Some yogasanas, basic yogasanas and meditation activities, and without failing some me time every day. Just talk to yourself, what exactly happening with me and why it is happening with me, how it is happening with me, and what I have to do for this, what actions I have to take, never reaction, what action I have to take for this. All this me time and me talking is a must for things. Then little bit of recreational activities is a must every day. Family time, laughter time, and never forget to laugh in a day. The person who used to laugh at least 5 times in a day is much healthier than a person who doesn't even laugh at all. So whatever it is, never take it very seriously in your life. Nothing is serious in life. If something gets serious, then we need to end up in a hospital. So that way, in any extent, we should not let anything go to that seriousness. And lastly, that epidemic of today's, that less screen time, and above all, daily 7 to 8 hours of sound sleep. So this actually will help if we have the less screen time at night, and of course the 7 to 8 hours of daily sound sleep we can get it. So this is the only that message that I wanted to share with you today, and this is the only way that we can achieve the health, because health is the only way. There is no other way to health. So here I will end of this talk, and I hope I finished within the time limit was given to me. So thank you everyone for your patience hearing. So we can go ahead with if any other way I can help you out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Hem Prasad Nathji. We have participants. I think they can. You have any doubts?
Yes, sir. My question is about sir.
I'm not able to figure out. Please, can you name? Please go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. My question about how to, sir, lose weight and make a best shape in our body. How would the best take to control the, sir, weight?
Sorry, sir.
Sir, my question about the how to lose weight, sir. Lose weight and, sir, make a best sir shape in our body, and how would it take to it, sir?
Okay, actually losing weight, when it is come to the losing weight part, there's only one option, that your muscles need to, the big muscle activities has to take place, because whenever you are getting fatty, you have everybody has witnessed that entire things normally started getting all around your belly, and from there it started getting to the lower part of the body, right? So here, to getting lose the weight, you have the one and only option, the jogging and brisk walk. If you cannot jog, if you have some other, because whenever we started developing obesity, it started giving joint pains in our legs, mainly the knee pains and the ankles, and other, the lower body part will be the most sufferer for the obesity. So that is why certain times what happens is people cannot run for or jog for certain distance. So you can start with a brisk walk. Brisk walk is nothing but a, like you have seen the march past in that left right that used to go. So your hand should move at least to the shoulder level, and you go as fast as you can. So every day minimum half an hour you start with, and slowly you try to increase to 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour. So that will give you a very good result in long run. But if you can start with slowly with jogging, that will give you little faster result. What happens is, in this there are training processes that are there in our body. Whenever we start doing some big muscle activities, initially our fat layer started giving us the support. This one, sorry, carbohydrates started giving us the power. All the energy supply happens from the carbohydrates. So once the carbohydrate starts working, it can give you for any type of big muscle activities to work up to 45 to 50, 60 minutes. So that is why any type of activity, if we do up to that 45 minutes of time, till then we are actually using our carbohydrate parts only. So our this one, that fat which is deposited, that is not being utilized. So our work time has to be little more than that. So that's why gradually you start with from the slow walking, that brisk walk, and after that you start converting it to little slow jog. So this will take time little. You cannot see the results in very soon, but at least maybe from 3 months to 6 month time, you can see a substantial result in that, if provided you are doing it regularly, at least 5 days in a week. So like that, if you are comfortable with. So that is the basic concept.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir,
Right.
any about sir about the sir meditation? Sir, hello.
Meditation. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Tell me, sir.
Yeah, it was a wonderful presentation, sir, and very informative regarding the health and mental awareness. It was a very informative presentation, sir. My question is, any good techniques for meditation? And one more thing, sir, being a teacher, we get a lot of work in college as well as in the home also. So how to balance these both the things, sir?
Actually, sir, your first questions, that good way of meditation. Actually, meditations, there are few techniques. Meditation means actually meditation and pranayama. First, you need to practice with the pranayamas. You know many different type of pranayamic activities, that anulom, vilom, and then Vastrika pranayam is there, right? So these are the few pranayamic techniques. Pranayams are actually nothing but the control of your own breathing system. How do you breathe? What happened, whenever we do certain activities in maybe some physical activities or some mental activities, have you ever count how many times you have breathed in that particular activity? We never do that. Why? Because we don't have any control over those breathing process. In that course, what happens is our that oxygen intake slowly getting decreased, and because of that the body started reacting, because the amount of oxygen required for any type of activity, it is a fixed amount that body requirements it requires. So that has to be supplied, but due to the lack of that supply, our body started reacting those things. That is why first we need to and because of that things happens is that neuromuscular activity is getting hampered, and we started getting certain reactions in our body, and our body started getting imbalance. So first we need to balance our body and mind. For that we need to have the total control over the blood supply, and that is only through the pranayamic activities. Once we control our breath, then we got proper mental balance, and in that particular time we need to meditate. Actually, there is meditation for that. There is no particular way of meditation. You can do it anything, but make sure that whenever we are meditating, you are just in a place calm and quiet, where you can just hear to only your breathing. you can see how you are taking breath and breathing it out, or maybe in an open nature where it is all creatures and everything, that you are totally, in a condition that you are totally fixed, that nobody is, nothing is going to, nothing harm is going to happen to you during that particular time of meditation. So make sure that that things happens, and then you can do yourself. That is the me time, actually what I was talking about, that talk to yourself what actually you want and what actually you are getting it and what you are not getting it. So in that time when you talk to yourself, you will find yourself actually what exactly you are meant for. And secondly, you have asked that actually that you have a lot of works and all, and then how to balance with the family. So see sir, what Abdul Kalam sir was saying one day, you need not to wait, 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the evening in your office to show that you are doing, what a very good, extraordinary job. But for that, you need to be proactive and very much punctual. Your time, if it is, suppose if your office time is at 8:45, you need to be at 8:40, you will be there. Start work at 8:50 after 5 minutes, and make sure that nothing is getting pending on your table. So if we can do it at कल देखेंगे, one mentality we have, चलो आज हुआ था कल देखेंगे, चलो अभी ये हो गया, थोड़ा एक कप चाय पी के आते हैं, चलो एक छुट्टा मार के आते हैं. So we used to take different type of breaks in our things, and we make our routines. So what happens when the scheduled routine and the routine made by us, those things doesn't go hand in hand, these all things comes. And always remember that once one particular work gets pending, that will pakka yield to the next pending work, and it will just go on in multiplication, it will go on and on, it will never reduce it. And once that things happens, the file started getting filed, the files filing will be going on, and that way the other things also will be getting affected, and then your regular time will go off. So once your regular timetable and particular schedule goes off, then we have finished. We cannot come back to the track. It is very difficult. So that is why a proper schedule of all the activities, even for our everything. Morning 6 o'clock, if alarm goes, 5:30 alarm goes, I need to wake means I need to wake up. That's all. There is no second question, second thought for them. Once we started doing from there, then things will go in the pakka line. But the moment it's got distracted somewhere in between, it is finished. We cannot come back. So that is why that is the only mantra to have, make proper balance in between, is that to have a proper scheduling of all the works. What is your family forefront? What is your professional forefront?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, please.
Sir, actually, it was very good lecture, because till now we were taught about road asset management. Now you have told about our body or the health asset management, how we should take care. And it was very nice to listen to you. At the end of the time, there are two queries I wanted to ask you.
Yeah,
I was
please,
expecting there somewhere you will show us some physical exercise, or generally, as earlier, the teaching community, we used to stand for long hours, and we used to get subjected to some people varicose veins and problems also due to their long standing hours. Now we are in a situation where we are having long sitting hours because of online teaching.
Yes,
so,
sir. Yes.
At the workplace, most of us who are reaching middle or upper middle level ages, what precautions we should take even at our workplace? As you told, yoga, walking, all those are before or after the working hours. During working hours also, what steps we should do? Can you please enlighten us, sir? Thank you.
Right. Actually, now the problem has come of this long extended sitting hours because of this pandemic. So the pandemic is paralyzing us from everything, that we cannot even step out from our house. Everybody is frightened that no, if I go out, what will happen to my next door? So that is how we need to be in our home only. So in this particular time, if we cannot go for these expensive things like treadmill machines or certain small 5-station nowadays gym equipments are also coming, but those comes in a cost factor, with a cost factor. So if we want to avoid those things without spending a single pie, just spending our few hours, we can do it only with the yogic exercises. That is the best possible that I can assure you on today's date, because what our originality says, our Indian culture, and that's all this one different scriptures has told us. What was there, that yoga yoga, this AICT, you can, if you see this, what do you call that, logo itself, their motto itself, yoga karmashu kausalam. There is a, skillful execution of the work is only called yoga. So it can be applied in every aspect of our life. So by sitting at home itself, we can do many of the yogic exercises, and the modules are very much available with us. In fact, I myself, I developed one recently during the last International Day of Yoga for NITK. I can very much share with you here. So this is the only option, because I am myself practicing these things during this entire pandemic, and you won't believe I have reduced 4 cases every day, at least 1 to 1.5 hour maximum, because we have enough time now, evening and morning. So you do it, and if you have little place in or in and around your house, if you feel that you can go around, just go for walking of half an hour. It will give the mobility and the proper circulation of the joints and everything to your body with motion, and yoga will give you the perfect positioning and balancing of your entire internal and external organs of the body. So this is the perfect things I can suggest you at this particular time, which will not expose you to the outer environment, to this pandemic and other situations. At the same time, it will ensure that you are in a perfect shape of good health.
So thank you, sir. Dr. Hem Prasad Nath ji, thank you for your wonderful presentation, and many of our participants have interacted with you. Many will be having some doubts, and they want some tips. I will
Sure,
share
sir.
your email ID, contact details. So
Sure,
if they have, can consult you for
Yeah,
regarding
sure.
this. So you made you started your presentation with definition of health and fitness, and then mental health and physical health, different dimensions. And then you also showed the distinction between fitness and health.
Yes.
And then what are the causes for the mental ill health, complications, preventive measures. And also you spoke about war between modern living and health, life
Yes.
skills and implications, and the 10 core life skills, strategies and techniques. So very much thankful for you for sparing your valuable time and bringing awareness on this, various aspects which fit into this Fit India movement, and also on the health aspects of all of us. So thank you, sir. Thank you for all this. With this, we'll end the meeting at this point of time.
Right, sir.
So you can take a leave from the meeting. I have few couple of announcements to the participants, and I
Sure,
will
sir.
stop recording at this stage.
All right, sir. Yes, fine.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir.